Well, hello and welcome to IRL F2. It's round 8 around Austria. I'm Sondre Sorhaug. I'm joined today by Lewis Marshall.
Hello.
And we're
Hello.
looking at a full grid today, Marshall.
Yes, we are. Which is the first full grid of the season, I believe.
I'm not sure if it's the
Or
first
is it
full grid, but
second?
I mean, usually there is at least 1 or 2 spots open and stuff, and so
Yeah, we've got
it's...
a few reserves in today, filling up the gaps.
You are right, and we'll go through them straight away. I'm just gonna make sure of something. Alright, so that the game sound is there. Well, the first reserve we can mention is the reserve going in the Ferrari. That is Chipsman Crunchy. That is James Jock. He was here last week too. Then the other reserve we have heard for today is...
Is it Louis?
Yeah, that is Louis W228. And that is Louis Wasman, the German. So both the reserves today is actually Germans. And well, what do you think, Louis? Should we start straight away to guess the 2 front rows of quali?
Before I do, the 2 Williams drivers and Callum Anderson were all fighting on the last corner like it was the race. Which
Well, interesting. Well,
was weird. And top 3 for qualifying.
top
I
4
think
you mean?
will be top 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out there and say Adrian Storm for pole, even though he's on softs. Then Jared, Paco, then Lee Kelly for top 4.
So
Then
you said
Storm, Jared, Paco, and Lee Kelly. I almost forgot then.
alright, well, interesting. So that's your top 4. For me, I would say... Yeah, I would also say Storm. Storm, Marcel, Paco, and Nino.
I forgot about Marcel. He's very good at qualifying. With a few
Yeah,
poles this season.
he's shown that a couple of times. He has been struggling to get it together for the races though, so
Yeah.
he hasn't gotten a win yet, same as Storm for that matter. And as of the moment, he's sitting in provisional pole with a 104.8.
Yeah.
Just 2 tenths ahead of his teammate for today,
That's a
Louis
Sauber
Bassman.
one too. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, Louis Bassman, he is also a quick driver, so he could also be up there.
Hopefully challenge the Renaults.
Yeah, we need those drivers to challenge us, the Renaults, because so far in this season they are running away with it, and yeah, we really need someone to push them down from the throne, you can say. At the moment,
Yeah.
it's
They have
doesn't
had
seem to happen.
They've had competition in qualifying with like Marcel, Adrian, Lux, forgot what his name is, sorry, has been up there.
Joe.
Joe, yeah.
That is Joe. Well, yeah, I mean, they do have a competition, but like you were mentioning though, Storm, he's he struggled sometimes with strategies and other times just haven't gotten past, even though he's at a pace. And Marcel certainly can be some competition for them if he manages to get a good race soon. Other drivers we can mention is of course Nino. He's also shown pace at times, but he's also struggled to get the races going.
I think, I was just watching Callum Anderson then, just going in the gravel of sector 2. So that's his lap over, or he might be on the out lap.
And, well...
I just want to point out as well, I may have to leave after qualifying.
Well, we'll take that when that happens. Well, but as I was going to mention though, Tim Burstell is in the other Mercedes. He should also be a driver who could be up there if he's missed a few races because of traffic and haven't really been able to make the race, which is unfortunate. But he's also shown that he has pace.
Yeah, also Wilo Billy Mossen. He's been up there with the leaders, but he's just been getting in too many incidents, I believe.
Well, yeah. Yeah, Billy, yeah, that's a good point. He's also been there sometimes, but yeah, and then as sitting in second for the moment, Christian Thornton. He's also a good driver who's also missed a few races, so I don't know, with a full grid today, I really hope we see somebody. Well, I know there is somebody who's gonna challenge the Renaults, but I hope we see like more than just a couple of drivers challenging the Renaults.
Yeah, like I'm friends with Jared and Paco, but I do want him to get challenged more.
Well, I do know what you mean.
If you remember last week's podium interviews, Jared said that he's going to win this race easy. So
yeah, I do remember that, and as we're talking, I believe we have, well, he's not on the lap. Marcel should, that might be validation. But I believe Marcel is on the lap now. Going through the first corner. Ooh.
I'm just on board with Nino, who's coming into the last sector now on soft tyres.
Alright, well, keep me updated.
Last corner. Very neat. So it's not invalid, and it goes only P13.
Well, it is the soft tires though, but his teammate has... Yeah, probably wasn't a clean lap.
P7, yeah. And Sandro, just to give you an update, when I have to leave, Kamikaze may join you in the commentary box.
Well, you know, that would be awesome. I mean,
yeah.
Would love to be able to commentate with Kamikaze.
Yeah, I've done it once and it was fun.
Of course, then I would need someone to send in an invite though.
I'll send him.
You can't because you're a spectator now.
Oh god, yeah. Hopefully one of the guys in the lobby can. If anyone's got Kamikaze in friends list in the lobby, could you possibly invite him, please?
Well, for the other matter, let's have a look at James Jock, the second Ferrari driver for today. He's out on supers right now. I believe he is on the lap He should be on the lap, yeah.
Yeah, he's using ERS.
He didn't have a bad race last week, if I remember correct, and well, oh shit.
Oh, language.
Yeah, I just got a really bad feeling in my ear.
Oh.
I completely fell off now. Yeah, James Jock. He started his race last week pretty well. He did the same mistake, you can say, as Marceldo, with starting on the softest tires.
Yeah. Looks like
But
it's
at
learned
the
from that though.
moment, he's gone
P3 and super
third
softs.
with the Super, so that's interesting.
That's very impressive. I've seen him sweeping his wheel, so he looks like he's happy with that.
Alright, so Joe has invited Kamikaze, then I'm quickly gonna go in to party and invite him.
See who it was. So I apologise about that.
Well, just remember, Kamikaze, to wait a few more minutes before you join, as the lobby is full at the moment.
Yeah, I'll leave the lobby when I have to go.
And I
It's lucky they don't
will...
host the lobby. Oh my! What's that lag? I think that was lag.
Might have been. We probably didn't watch the same thing, but
I was just on board with Pat Manderson, and wide Billy Mosson just smashed into somebody's car. I'm not sure who it was, but he went miles off track and came back on track somehow.
What's up, guys?
well,
Hey,
hello, Lance.
I'll need another invite because apparently this one doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah, I tried to say
I
that you
think
should wait using it because Marshall have to leave first.
Yeah, I'll have to
Because
leave in a
it's
few
full.
minutes.
So, if I believe it was Lux that sent you, if you, Joe, listen,
Yeah.
if you can send Kamikaze another invite, because obviously I can't. So, Storm has actually taken pole right now, Lewis. He is down in the 104
Oh.
trees now. So he took pole by almost 5 tenths, and
He's getting out of the way.
he's not on the lap now.
Yeah. I just want to point out, look how many tyres of people on ultras, supers, and softs. So all three tyre compounds are being used in this qualifying session.
At the moment,
So
yeah.
hopefully that could make an exciting race.
But it does certainly seem like everyone has decided that they will be starting on ultras, as we see that now people aren't really using the harder tires that much. Alright, so he's not on the lap now.
Looks like Storm is going around and lost his front wing after setting his pole time.
You know, that was Tim. And
I just want to point out, James Sands has gone up to P6 on Supersoft with a 1.5.2. So I missed that, but that's a great lap by the Haas driver.
And I will be sending you the drivers' names in a moment, Kamikaze.
Christian. I missed him as well, P4 on Supersofts with a 1.4.9.
Yeah, I seen him up there. He is a quick driver, but we'll see. I think it's gonna be an interesting race today. We can see that both Renaults are down in 11th and 15th at the moment. 12th and 15th.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no,
if you could
Tim's
just let me know, Lance, when you get another invite.
I've gotten a couple of them from Salisbury and.
Alright, well, then you'll just have to wait a few more
Hollis.
minutes until Lewis leaves.
Yeah, I've got like 2 minutes till I have to go pretty much. But yeah, talking about the Renaults, I think they should be safe in the top 10 if they do another lap.
Well, I mean, most likely they're usually always up there, and yeah.
And Tim, the explosions, I've seen he put in the chat he's got DRS failure. I'm not sure if it was stuck closed or stuck open, but that's definitely not going to help at all.
Hopefully stuck closed, because stuck open is really worse.
Yeah. Is anybody on the lap?
Probably. Looks Joe has just went in.
Tipsman Crunchy is up. I know he's just bought in his lap. Callum Anderson retires.
Christian looks to be on the lap. On the supers, so he will be starting on the supers today.
I'm gonna watch Charlie Sampson. We haven't talked about him much today, but he's about to start a qualifying lap. He hasn't actually done a lap yet, so big pressure for him.
Well, you're right, so we will be jumping to him right after Christian completes his lap. This is coming into the last corner. It's gonna
my alarm
be...
just went off.
Yeah, it was not an improvement. But yeah, let's have a look at Charlie Sampson then, as he's the only one who hasn't done a lap.
Okay, I'm gonna leave after Charlie's lap.
And Fosbury, he's into the pit, so he's not gonna be starting higher up than 7th. Paco, however, I'm not sure if he's on a lap right now.
Jared only P7. That's
Paco
surprising.
is on a lap right now, and he's gonna finish his lap right after Charlie Sampson, so we're gonna jump to him after that. In the meantime, Charlie Sampson going into the last corner. He gets a good exit. It's gonna be a... Oh, he's gonna be pretty far down. And Paco is up to 9th. So both the Renaults gonna start a little further back than usual.
Oh, I can't read that now.
You gotta wait till after the loading, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you have to wait till after the loading. If not, it's most likely gonna glitch.
Yeah, Kamikaze should be in by the formation lap. Oh wait, I can leave now. Here we go. So I'll speak to you, you guys later.
Then you should be able to join Lance.
Oh, let's take a look.
And for the top 10, we have Storm, James Jock, Marcel Holler, Louis Vassman, Christian Thornton, Lee Kelly, Jared Fosbury, James Sands, Paco Suarez, and Nino Romanello. So,
and a big props to Adrian Storm for picking up his first pole of the year here at round 8 in Austria.
Good point. I should have noticed that, but yeah, that is actually true. And with a pole position and no guys in front of him, do you think this is his race then, Kamikaze?
Well, he's been impressive all season in F2 and F1, so it'll be interesting to see if he can pull out in front and what his tire strategy will be. And obviously with the Renaults, with Fosbury and Suarez being the two to beat, they're so far down on the order it'll be interesting to see if they can make their way through the field cleanly and get their way up to Adrian.
Could you turn up your mic a little, Lance, because Brandon says it's a little quiet.
I blame you guys.
Well, for that matter, Storm has gotten his first pole position of the year. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with that pole position, if you can get a good start and not get jumped, I think we will see another race winner this season today. But he will be under pressure from both the Saubers right behind him. He will be under pressure from James Jock in the Ferrari. Yeah, I think we'll have a good race. And Lance, as we always do, we start out with guessing our top three.
Top three, I'm going to say Adrian Storm's probably going to be able to pull this one off. But I still see Fosbury and Suarez probably coming in second and third easily, one way or the other.
Well, that is a good guess. I mean, they are on the harder tires, so they might be able to jump a lot of guys with strategy.
And I'm adjusting my mic level now, so hopefully that's good enough for Brandon.
We'll hope so. Well, for me, I'm gonna say Storm, Marcel, Fosbury. And then we should be getting underway. And I actually get a good view straight away. And
so
there we
wait
are.
on 5 lights.
And the fifth light didn't never come, but it's a start. It's a bad start for the Ferrari. However, Storm has gotten a decent start. He will... he's getting challenged. And
one of the Saubers tries to jump to the inside, and now it's a second and third for the Sauber. Chipman Crunchy has left the session.
Ooh. That might be a decent. He should have a spare in white, I believe.
Look at this. The Saubers have gone around Adrian Storm, and now it's a Sauber 1-2. Luis and Marcel Haller. Meanwhile, Suarez has fallen back to 12th.
Oh, that's a far out.
However, Jared Fosbury has worked his way up into 5th.
So Fosbury, the highest super soft runner at the moment. But look at this, Adrian Storm right behind Marcel Haller. He will be trying to get past him again. I remember last week he was in a Renault sandwich for a long time. Will it be a Sauber sandwich today?
Marcel Haller will be looking to definitely get a good finish in. He's proven to be very quick over the course of the year. He actually leads the league in pole positions with 3, but unfortunately his finishes have not come with those pole positions.
Oh, you certainly does have a good point there, Kamikaze.
He's had a couple of DNFs this year and hasn't finished on the podium yet.
And Adrian does not try to move into turn 2. In the meantime, Jared is looking...
Oh, Charlie Sampson retired from the session, as well as Kalamitis.
I did not catch what happened there, and since Jeremy is in the pit, we're not gonna get a view of it. But look at this, I can see that there is a lot of guys switching positions. As Joe, we have a 3-car battle between Billy, Joe and Shane at the moment. All close together. As that should be his decent car.
As Jared Fosbury has moved into striking distance of the Toro Rosso.
Of Christian Thornton. And he surely has to be able to make a move down this straight now. He's side by side already. He's going for the outside line.
Just dropped the left side tires in the grass a little bit. Goes around the outside. And he is going to pick up the 4th spot, so he will try to start closing in the gap to the 3-way battle at the front between Luis, Marcel, and Adrian Storm.
Interesting, we don't see the Renaults dominate this race straight away. And straight away we see both of the drivers in Sauber dominate. And Storm is yet again right behind them.
Salamitis has officially left the session.
Unfortunate race for him. He's been there for most of the races, I believe. He's gradually started to improve his pace, but he won't have a finish today. That is unfortunate. In the meantime, Storm is close to Marcel now. It's a 5/10 gap. Well, on the run down to turn 2. He won't be close now.
Meanwhile, Luis is pulled out to a 1.2 second lead to get himself out of the DRS range against his teammate Marcel Haller, but Storm's still within striking distance to try and pick up that 2nd spot.
Oh yeah.
We've got some change of positions in the back. We've got Paco Suarez in a mix here. 4-way battle. He's down in 10th. Look at this, 4 into 1. He tries to go around the
look
outside.
at this. Tim Bristol's making a dive at Joe Hollis. He gets past. Might have pushed Joe a little wider, but he gets past and is up to 12th. In the meantime, Paco is, as you said, right.
Still struggling in 10th. He's actually in danger of losing that position to Billy Mossam.
Oh yeah, and Billy is on the hardest tires. Oh, and look at this, he runs wide, and that might have lost him 10s actually.
Mossam on the inside, not close enough to make it work.
But maybe now.
They'll take another run at him down here, but all 3 of these cars here are going to have DRS. Suarez to the inside. Ooh, good move by Suarez to get around, what is that, into the barrier, Michael Marlowe.
No, that was James Sands. Michael is right ahead of them, so he's gonna be Suarez's next target. But where is it happening now? Look at the gap between Storm and Marcel. Will there be a move there soon? I do remember last race where Storm was...
has yet to get close enough to make a move. And while these two have been battling it out for a second, you see Fosbury's just coming into the picture there. He's crept his way under a second and into DRS range as well.
Yeah, but look at this. Adrian is close to Marcel now, and he should be able to make a move down to turn 2 I mean. He will be going for the outside.
Ooh,
no, he's squeezing to he's switching to the outside. He
tries the crossover move, can't get the power down soon enough.
Oh, that could have been a great move by him.
Another run down into turn 3.
He stays behind for the moment. In the meantime, Paco is making his way, and he's right behind Michael Marlowe and Ryan now. Probably won't see a move from him in this sector, but it will happen soon. He needs to get higher up than 9th place. Strong showing from Louis Wassman, a reserve driver who's making his race debut today. Can he take a win with that?
And now Marcel Haller has actually gotten within DRS range of his teammate. So the top 5 cars all have DRS. Heading down these first 3 straightaways into turn 1, down into turn 2, and then down into turn 3. It looks like Nino Romanello has picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Romanello, the Italian, also one of the quicker driver who's struggled to really get it together in the race. He's on the harder tire, so we might see more of him later in the race, but for the moment he looks to be struggling.
It looks like we just missed it, but Paco has gotten around Michael Marlowe for the 8th spot. And now we've got another car that has left the session.
That should be Shane. Yeah, he should
That
have a
was Shane
spare
Callard.
in white if he lagged out. However, I'm not sure if he lagged out
And
or
now
not.
Jared Fosbury has closed the gap to Adrian Storm for 3rd.
And look at this. You know, we are on lap 8, so the Ultrasoft should be starting to fade off.
And Storm runs wide coming out of turn 1.
And Fosbury with the DRS. Well, both have DRS, so... Oh, Storm breaks late.
Fosbury on the inside. Oh, and Fosbury pushes Storm wide. Oh, and one of the cars have gone around.
That was the
Kelly,
Williams of Lee Kelly. And he's going to be right ahead of his teammate. Now he's going to be behind both Nino and Paco.
And now back to the front because Holler has closed into the backside of Louisa Sauber.
Oh yeah, and one of these guys needs to pit soon. Well, both of them needs to pit, but who will pit first is the question. And it looks like neither one is pitting. Oh, Wasman losing that back end.
Holler was a little loose coming out of there. Adrian Storm pits from 4th. That'll drop him through the order a little bit.
Well, that could indicate that the Ultrasoft are starting to fade off.
And Luis has just picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, and look at this, Marcel is close. He will try to make a move around the outside.
Oh, Holler's not going to be able to make it work. Yes,
oh, he will. Oh, a little wheel bang.
Wheel to wheel, they both bumping and banging, a little bit of argy-bargy going on.
But it gets the moves to stick.
Cut him off going into the corner. Oh, but the back end starts to kick out. And Fosbury is waiting for these two to take each other out so he can pounce. Jared Fosbury, your championship points leader, is waiting for these two to just take each other out. And look at it, side by side again. Holler coming back on the inside, retakes the lead from... I'm sorry, Louise retakes the lead from Holler.
Oh yeah, and these guys are still out there on the Ultrasoft tires. It might look like they're going to go for a stretch and go over to the soft to go to the end.
Oh, and Holler loses the back end.
And look at the Renault of Fosbury
on the outside. And now look at this, 3 wide going down the straightaway. Fosbury backs off wisely. He's going to let these two go at it.
And
Louise runs wide. Holler's going to get underneath of him. And now Fosbury side by side takes the 2nd position. He's still got the DRS advantage. Oh, and he gets to the inside of Holler to take the lead just for a second.
And he has made it stick.
He's going to get out in front.
And
And Holler loses the back end and clips the car. He lost the left front end plate of the front wing. He's going to have to pit now.
Yeah, well, now it's the interesting question though. If Louis Wasman pits now, what do Marcel do?
Louis stays out. Holler has to go in.
Definitely.
And he is. He's heading into the pits. Wise move.
In the meantime, Wasman will be trying to regain his lead, but it looks like Fosbury is slipping away.
Pato Suarez has moved into the 3rd spot, so once Luis pits, it'll be a Renault 1-2. However, Nino Romanello is all over the back of Suarez's Renault for that 3rd spot. Romanello's going to try to make a move. Tries to push him wide. Suarez gets the power down. And Romanello's going to take that 3rd spot from Suarez. Great move.
It's a great move, and we see a lot of people who struggled earlier in the season actually getting it a bit more together today. But he's not out of it yet.
Is the next one in line. Looks like Lee Kelly's recovered from his spin a couple of laps ago. You see the Caution flag is waving here in Sector 2. Looks like one of the Red Bulls had gone off. I believe that was Shane Callert's car. Now, Shane had left the session, but his car had continued on track, so it looks like Shane rejoined the session.
He did,
like he
but
regain control of that car and start moving that thing back through the field.
well, he might have his car pitted right before he joined, so he might have been a cold tire without realizing it. As we see Paco going for the move on Nino in the first corner, he's passed, but will he make it?
Suarez is going to get around there. He's got that DRS advantage, and here comes Kelly on the inside of Romanello. Ooh, and a little bit of bumping and banging, tried giving him the chrome horn. Suarez is going to pull the gap a little bit. Lee Kelly starting to work on the back of his
and
teammate.
Romanello does have some wing damage on his right-hand side, missing an end plate. We might see him diving into the pit now then for the soft tires as he's struggling. He might have actually let his teammate pass.
Looks like, yeah, he let him go by. Kelly with the having the stronger run. Romanello obviously with a little bit of wing
But look at
damage
this
now.
though, Billy right on the back of Joe.
Was that Luis who's struggling to get into the pits?
Yeah, it
Looks
probably
like his car
was.
going around. Yeah, because Romanello has gone into the pits before Luis. So Luis struggled to get the car into the pits.
Definitely. Well, Storm though, he's on 4 laps old. Soft is now sitting in 7th. He has
Meanwhile,
a lot
Garrett
of work to
Fosbury
do.
has pulled out to an 11.5-second lead over his teammate Paco Suarez, and it has been all Renault all year.
And it might
Fosbury-
be all Renault today too.
Fosbury took the first pole of the year back in Canada, and he also managed to finish third that race. He is your championship points leader. He's managed to finish second at round 2 at COTA. He won his first race at round 3 in Mexico. Suarez won his first race at Spain, which was another great race. Fosbury finished second there, and that was 4 straight podiums for Jared Fosbury, and you can make that 5 after round 5 in France.
Oh, and I
Fosbury-
just noticed that we have missed it, but Billy has actually made a move on Joe somewhere. He has gotten past, and he's now
just
sitting
making the move
4th.
now. Hollis is right behind him though with the DRS slot open. You've
Oh,
got
yeah.
a three-way car battle for the 4th spot.
Oh, interesting, but Christian is on the 2-stop. He started on Ultras, he's on a 6-lap old set of Ultras now.
Ooh, and he's side by side. And he's going to get to the inside of Hollis. Oh, and around goes one of the Williams. That was Lee Kelly again. Struggling at that same corner he spun out on a couple of laps ago. So now, Mawson has worked his way into 3rd because of that.
And this could be one of... It could be Billy's best race of the year if he continues like this. He will be on the quicker tire in the end too, starting on the soft tires. And he's actually moved up 14 positions since they started. So he's had by far the best start.
An amazing run so far by Billy Mawson. Hollis is headed
Truly
into
is.
the pits.
But Billy might struggle to keep Kirsten behind him now because Kirsten is just a couple of tenths. He's on the not hyper soft, but ultra soft. He doesn't make a move into turn 1.
Christian's going to have the DRS advantage though, heading down into
Yeah,
turn
and down
3.
to turn 3 with those ultra soft tires.
Oh, and
It
he's on
should
the
be an
inside.
easy
Big
move.
lockup on the right front.
But he gets around and he makes it stick. And in this section, he should have a big advantage.
I don't think
but
Billy's done with him though. Billy's
No.
trying to come back on the inside.
And I can see Steven Morale saying had Popeye for the win in the chat. Well, we all hope Chris can get there one race.
The two Ferraris have struggled so far. Popeye has struggled with the F1 cars as it is. Seemed to find a little bit of a groove his last time out.
Oh, and look at this. Both the Renaults are in the pit. Fosbury comes out in third. Paco
Fosbury just comes out. Suarez is just now getting done his stop. So now Christian and Mossam are fighting for the lead.
Paco will be battling the Sauber on exit of Luis Wassmann. I don't think he can keep Luis behind him right now. He will be trying, he brakes late, but he might have overcooked it, and Luis Wassmann will be coming back for the switchback.
Down in turn 3. Luis isn't going to be close enough to make that work, though. Suarez had the DRS advantage before he made the pass, so that really helped him head down into turn 3.
Oh, yes.
Meanwhile, Christian and Billy Mossam are still fighting it out for the lead. And while they're doing that, Jared Fosbury's in third, and he's cut that gap down to 1.5 seconds. It was 2.5 when he came out of the pits.
Well,
and it looks like
Fosbury
that is one of the
certainly...
Mercedes coming out of the pits there. That's going to be a lap car. He wisely gets out of the way of this battle. And another lockup from Christian in Chapu.
But look at this, Billy is just 5/10 behind Christian. He, as you said, he's not done with him. He will be trying to fight back, and those ultras of Christians are 9 laps old, so they should be starting to fade off, as we saw with the other drivers. That is pretty much the action we have right now.
Well, there's action all over the track. I mean, you've got Luis and Paco still battling it out. Luis is still in DRS range of Paco. Meanwhile, Romanello is starting to close the gap into
Joe.
Is it Lewis Curtis or Joe Hollis?
Joe Hollis, yeah. Lost my words there.
And Jared Fosbury is now within DRS range of this two-way battle. So we're going to have a three-way battle for the lead as they head down towards turn 2. Mossam and Fosbury both have the DRS advantage.
And Fosbury has the advantage of fresh, soft tires. And he makes quick progress of Billy in the first corner. Second corner, I mean. What does he? Billy's fighting back.
Heading down into turn 2. Billy's not done with him.
Billy's showing a masterclass of a race today.
The inside, and Mossam's going to have to relinquish that position. Wasn't able to make that work. So Fosbury up into second. And now Fosbury will set his sights on Christian for the lead. And Christian's yet to pit, hasn't he?
No, Christian has actually pit, and he will be pitting again.
Once and he's heading in again.
Yeah, he's on the 2-stop.
And that is going to move Jared Fosbury out front. Billy Mossam in second. Actually, Billy's headed into the pits as well, so that's going to move Adrian Storm into the second spot. 3 seconds behind Fosbury.
But that's interesting. If Billy pits now, is the softs fading off that quickly? Is the question then.
Marcel Haller is running in third behind Adrian Storm.
Oh, but look at this. Joe Hollis is all over Billy.
He's retired from the session. Christian's car is stuck at turn 2, it looks like.
It is turn 1, actually.
Oh,
no! And
the Mercedes has rear-ended the car! What has happened to Christian Thornton? And he was in the pits. That doesn't make any sense.
I have no idea. That looks really weird how he ended up there.
Did the game glitch and you go through the Armco? You watch Mossam battle side by side with Hollis. Too bad for Christian Thornton. Not sure what happened there.
No idea, but one thing's for sure, it is a shame. He was on for a good result today. Now he's sitting left with 0 points and yeah, and a weird retirement.
Tim Brustelines is the one that rear-ended him, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate for him too. He must have not realized that ghosting is off. I'll tell you though, Lance is not the first one who haven't realized that before. We have seen other drivers crash into crashed cars. As we see that Joe is and Callum is out.
Anderson is retired from the session.
Well, what has happened with him?
And I am getting word from IRL that Christian crashed in the pit lane and it teleported him onto the circuit, which then put him in the way of Tim Brustelines' car. So a very weird turn of events.
Yeah, but look at this. Romanelli is all over Paco's back.
We'll pick up that battle.
As we're coming on to the start-finish line, Romanello 4 tenths behind Paco. Can he make a run down to turn 2 on him? The gap is still 4 tenths. I'm not sure if he will be close enough. He's going to start.
He's got the inside line. Yeah, he should be able to make this one work. Suarez
and
is
it might have been
to get around.
He's pushing Suarez a little wider, but he gets around him. Suarez now has
Meanwhile, right up the road here, we're going to pick up Billy Mossam again, and he's working on the backside of Michael Marlowe in the Red Bull. Mossam
and Suarez gets
that 4th spot.
Passed again, and that is
Marlowe
an ambitious move.
The door. Aggressive defense by Marlowe. Great move
but
to shut the door.
That is a really ambitious move to make there. And well, I think we have Joe Hollis right behind them too, so he's gonna be in that battle soon too. And look at this, we also have a battle at the front between Marcel and Adrian Storm again.
And it looks like Mossam is making the move. Oh, a crossover by Marlowe to retake the position back. And now it's going to be 3 wide going into turn 2 as Hollis is going to be all the way to the inside. And Marlowe's going to lose 2 spots in one corner. And the Force India almost goes around, but Mossam makes it stick. And Hollis gets around Marlowe. So Marlowe loses 2 spots in one corner.
I do believe I saw some debris flying there, but I can't see any damages.
Marcel's got a car behind him. That's clearly a lap car. Holler is 7 tenths of a second behind Adrian Storm for the 2nd spot.
Yeah, that is a lapped car. That is the lapped car of either James or Jeremy. I can't say for sure. But Marcel right behind Storm, and it looks to be getting a good exit there. He will be going for a move into turn 3 most likely. He's diving for the inside line.
Oh, they make a little bit of contact there.
Little contact, but to get around it.
And this lap car, I really think, needs to back off and let these two battle it out and not play a part in this outcome. It doesn't look like, what is that, one of the Haas cars?
Yeah, it is. It's either James or Jeremy, I'm not sure. But it seems to just be...
It is James, and I think James should back off a little bit and let these two battle it out, because James is not really battling for a position. Chipsman Crunchy is behind him by 45 seconds, so I really think James needs to back off of this battle for second and let these two have at it.
Well, you know, I don't think James will back off that much. He's not going to make a move on them, but he will be trying to stay close because... As you can see, he's
and James goes into the wall!
And...
Just as we were saying he should back off. And he is retired from the session. So when I told him to back off, I didn't mean for him to wreck the car. Marcel Haller, though, has made the move around Adrian Storm for the second spot. Can Storm come back? And while all this was happening, I think you were right
12
about that
laps
wing
left,
damage.
can they keep these softs to the end? They will be on... I think they have to pit
you're right
again.
about somebody having some wing damage because Michael Marlowe had made a pit stop while all this was unfolding and has come back out in ninth position behind Lee Kelly.
Interesting. I can see that Nino Romanello has pitted again too, over to the soft tires, so he might have gotten some wing damage at some point.
So we started with a full grid with 20 cars, and we have lost 6 of them.
Well, yeah, 6 of them, but you can say 7 because I think Shane is in AI. Or is he still? I'm not sure.
I thought he had rejoined the session.
Yeah, but I think he left again.
And Marlowe just set the fastest lap at a 1:07.053. Fresh tires and a fresh wing coming out of the pit. And Adrian Storm has lost ground to Marcel Haller.
And right
so
now
we're a little spread out at this point.
Yeah. Although we might have a battle for 7th place in a moment, as Lee is just 9 tenths behind. Hopefully this is the case. But well, then again, do you think Marcel and Adrian can keep those softs to the end? That's 10 more laps on them.
Well, you can see Storm has already started to lose a little bit of pace in comparison to Marcel Haller, and Haller has struggled mightily this year in race trim as opposed to the qualifying format. So there is a good chance that Billy Mossam still comes out as the big winner in this debacle. I think Fosbury is still going to go on to take the overall victory, but I think Mossam, if he plays his cards right, could possibly end up with a podium finish. Paco Suarez is starting to close the gap a little bit to Joe Hollis for the 5th spot. The gap was about 2.5 seconds a couple of laps ago. It's now down to 1.6.
Oh yeah, but look at this. Lee is just 5 tenths behind Louis Wasman now, so this is the battle we're going to have first. And hopefully it'll continue for a little while.
Well, Lee Kelly should be a little bit further up in the running order. He has struggled with turn 2 a couple of times today. I don't know if he's cutting that corner too tight and bumping that curb, or just trying to get the power down too soon, but he has spun twice at turn 2. But he's there to make a move.
And he's right on the back of Louis Wasman now. He will be going for the outside lane. He might be going for a switchback. He's not getting to do a move there.
Close enough to make a move. I think he was a little cautious heading down into turn 2, knowing he's had problems there a couple times today.
Yeah, you might have a point there. And it's staying behind for the moment. But now, as you mentioned, Paco has closed the gap to Joe Hollis, and it's just 9 tenths separating them now. But it's still Lee and Louis.
Lee Kelly gets a good run coming out of the S's there.
Oh.
Now look at this. Luis takes the more defensive line. He's going to make Kelly go long way around on the outside. Kelly's going to be able to tuck up right behind him, get that DRS slot open, get to the inside. He's going to have a good position going into turn 1, and Kelly's going to get around him.
I did miss that, but I noticed that there was a yellow flag in Sector 3, and that was Michael Marlowe. He seemed to be going slowly and most likely had spun the car.
And Luis trying to get the position back from Kelly. Looks like Kelly's going to be able to pull away just a little bit. Oh, and look at this. He's going to make a dive bomb move. Louise down to the inside, pushes Kelly wide. And, looks like Michael Marlowe has crashed his car from the 11th spot.
That's another retirement for today. And look at
And look at the
this,
side-by-side to the S's. And James Sands has officially left the session. So too bad for Michael Marlowe. He had such a good run going earlier in the race.
Oh, yeah, and oh,
and there's the car! Unbelievable.
That was that was Vassman who almost ran straight into
and
that
I wonder
car.
if...
And it's a virtual.
That's an odd place to wreck the car on the front stretch like that. I wonder if he had a similar issue that
That could have been.
Christian had earlier. But you had said he was going slow.
Well, I
Interesting
mean,
turn of events. And it almost called out a couple of more drivers, Louise and Lee Kelly here. And Marcel Haller is pitting from second spot. 6 laps to go, and he's gonna. Oh, and he's got a 5-second stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's gonna cost him. Adrian Storm's gonna take over the second spot, and Mossam. Let's keep an eye on Mossam. He's gonna come down the front stretch. He's gonna take over that 3rd position.
Interesting. Marcel goes for the super soft and not the ultra soft.
Billy Mossam into 3rd.
Well, Billy is by far the big gainer today. I believe he's then gained 14.
Suarez is now all over the back of Hollis. Hollis takes the more defensive line headed in turn 2. Suarez is going to try the crossover move. The battle for 5th is on. And around the outside goes Suarez. Oh no, and he's gone into the gravel.
That looks like he got desynced.
I don't believe there was any contact between the cars.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it was a desync because it looked like the back end started to slide out as it does when you get desync, and down to 8
now
for Paco.
Adrian Storm is in the pits, and as I called this earlier, Billy Mossam is going to be finding himself in the 2nd spot.
But for how long? Marcel is close, and he's on fresh super soft tires.
Can Mossam run those tires to the end of this race? Marcel Haller is there. He's definitely within striking distance.
And those 11 laps, all younger tires for Marcel, it should be an easy task then. But he still needs to make the move. And it looks like he's having much better traction than Billy. On the other hand,
Billy looked like he went into that corner a little deep as these two come up on the lap car of Shane Callan. Oh, and Shane's car is all over the road and in the way of Mossam.
That was actually Chipman. That was James Juck's car, actually. But yeah, it's a shame Billy lost some time there. It has to be said, though.
I don't think Billy had enough in his tires to fight to retain that 2nd spot, but
right now he's got to
focus on 3rd spot.
Yeah.
And it looks like Paco Suarez is working his way around Jeremy Pope for 9th after Suarez had gone off. Oh, and Pope runs into the back of him. Looks like he broke the left end plate off of the front wing, so Pope's going to have some wing damage. He gets back around Suarez. But he runs wide coming out of there. Suarez is going to have the DRS advantage. They head down into turn 1. Oh, and look at that. Oh, Suarez is off into the grass. He got into the back of Jeremy Pope's car. And this race is falling apart for Paco Suarez in his last couple of laps. Meanwhile, Lee Kelly has started to close the gap to Louise.
And they're both on old soft tires. In the meantime, I know that Marcel has that 5-second stop and go penalty, but it looks like he will be able to pull out a big enough gap before the race ends. But yeah, look at this, Lee Kelly right behind Louis Wassmann now. He was thinking about it, but it was too far behind into turn 2. Wassmann on 20 laps old soft tires. Ooh, a little wheel banging into turn 3 there, Wassmann.
Side by side.
Pushes him a little wide.
Great defensive move by Louise.
Looks to be struggling a little with his tires too. Oh, but look at this. We now have Storm just 4 tenths behind Joe Hollis. 3 tenths. Those ultra soft tires are so much better than the 19 laps old soft tires.
And Storm's going to drive up to the inside of Hollis. And he is going to get that. So he's going to set his sights on Billy Mossam. Mossam 5.5 seconds out front of Storm. Is that going to be enough of a gap to hold him off?
2 laps, 2.5 seconds. Old supers against fresh ultras. This will be exciting. It's going
to be close.
Oh, and Lee Kelly right on the back of Wassmann.
Kelly's still trying to find a way around the Sauber.
It's close, but oh, and look at this! He's gonna go. Oh,
and he's got him going to the inside of the left-hander.
That was a brilliant move.
Meanwhile, Suarez has pitted from 10th spot. He's still in the pits, it looks like. Oh, he's just now coming out. So Suarez back out on the track, 10th spot. Meanwhile, Louise and Adrian Storm has actually closed that gap. Adrian Storm closed that gap down a lot. It is now down to 1.2.
And with 2 laps left.
Mossam is going to be struggling to try and hang on to this podium position.
Oh yeah, but believe me, he will battle it out for it. He will not be giving it up.
And now Lee Kelly, real quick, go back to Lee Kelly, and they're side by side. Kelly's going to push Louise out to the grass. He's finally going to get that position and take over the 6th spot. Back to the battle for 3rd now. Within half a second of striking distance is Adrian Storm. He's going to have the DRS advantage. Lap. Meanwhile, nothing's changed at the front. Jared Fosbury is still your leader with a 10-second lead over Marcel Hollett, but we're watching this battle for 3rd. Billy Mossam putting in a career drive today, trying to hold off Adrian Storm for the 3rd spot. Mossam holding tough on the inside. They bang wheels a little bit. Hollis has actually crept into the picture. If these two happen to have an issue and go off, Hollis could be there to pounce.
Yeah, you have a point, but Hollis is on 21 laps old soft tires, so I don't think he will have the grip to challenge these two right now. But we're closing
hanging
in.
Tough, trying to hold off Adrian Storm. Storm loses a little bit of time going into that corner.
As Jared Fosbury passes the line as the winner of this race, right ahead of Marcel Holler, but we still have
done. Last couple of corners, Storm's going to try and go do the crossover to the inside. Mossam trying to hold him off.
And it will
They're going to come across the line, and Billy Mossam is going to take 3rd spot. But he's going to drop in the finishing order because of time penalties. Joe Hollis is your 3rd place finisher. Unbelievable.
Joe Hollis picks it up in the end then. But what a great drive from Billy. Picking up 13. spots in the race. As we see that Lee has gone into 6th, Romanelli into 7th. Louis Bosman, the last one to finish. It might look like
and he's got a flat tire. Left rear is done
yeah,
and
he
flat
does.
on Louise's car. So he'll limp that to an 8th place finish.
Well, I guess we got our answer then on how long these soft tires can go. 23 laps seems to be the limit. By a stretch.
Unbelievable drive.
Still a good debut
what a
by
finish
him.
by Joe Hollis to pick up that 3rd spot. A couple of times this year we have seen time penalties be a factor.
Yeah, and it was today, but still I gotta give it to Billy. He's been struggling this season, and today he looked like a whole different driver.
Definitely a career drive today for Billy Mossam, even though he finished 3rd, dropped to 5th due to time penalties. He moved his way through the field and played a really good strategy to get that 3rd place finish, even though he lost it because of the time penalties.
Well, that's certainly got to go down as one of the best races of this season, although pretty much all the F2 races have been good as we see that
Jared
Billy
Fosbury
started
is going to pick
17th.
up his 2nd win of the season, but overall that is his
3rd win, I believe. If you give me a moment, it will be his 3rd win of the season. Marcel picks up a podium, gets 2nd place. Joe Hollis gets 3rd place. Then we have Billy Mossam in 4th place. Adrian Storm 5th place. Lee Kelly 6th place. Nino Romanelli in 7th. Louis Bassman on his debut in 8th. Jeremy Pope in 9th. And 10th was Paco Suarez. Paco, he had
a rough day for
He's
Paco
definitely
Suarez.
not happy with that race. But well, was a good race. A lot of things happening. A lot of drivers crashing out today too. I didn't expect that.
Unfortunately for Christian Thornton, he must have crashed coming out of the pits and it glitched him onto the track, and that took him out and Tim Brusdelines. That was unfortunate. And usually don't see that much attrition at Austria because it's a pretty cut and dry track. It's not very many corners. There's only 2 left-handers. You know, it's a low drag track. Usually don't see a whole lot of offs. Paco struggled today. Lee Kelly struggled a little bit today coming out of turn 2, but managed to bring it home with a halfway decent finish. But really, I think Mossam got the drive of the day, starting in the rear of the field and managing to work his way up.
Well, I'll tell you what, he got my vote. And it certainly sounds like he got your vote too.
Yeah, he would definitely get my vote for driver of the day. I also want to give a shout out to Marcel Haller. That's his best finish of the year. And for somebody who's managed to put the car on pole 3 times so far this year, it's nice to see him finally get onto the podium. And Fosbury,
you know who reminds me a little about saying that? Francis in SRL. He's also been on poles a lot of times, but
he's had 5 pole positions this year, but only managed to get 1 win out of it.
Yeah, so
Fosbury has just been a dominating force. 3 wins, 7 podium finishes. I mean, just an unbelievable season he's having.
Oh yeah.
And with every race finish and every race win, he's just setting a new F2 record for guys behind him in the coming seasons to try and beat. And I think it's going to be tough going forward.
Definitely. Well, I'm gonna try to see if we can get some drivers in for interviews then, so if you bear with me a moment, I'm usually doing this alone, Kamikaze, so you can decide whether you want to stay for a little time or not. I kinda need to try to remember. Alright, Marcel. starting with this. So, know that Jared always wants to be interviewed. Same with Callum. And Jared is the first one in here, so do you want to take it, Kamikaze?
Well, Jared, another great run today. 3rd win of the season, 7th podium finish. Was there any stopping you? And did you feel like you were going to be able to finish the top, even though you had a rough qualifying session?
Well, thanks for that. Yeah, I had a rough quality, but I did say at Hungary I had a reputation, you know, to come by. I said I was going to annihilate everyone today, and I do the walk. I thought to talk and do the walk, basically. The strategy was perfect. Me and Paco, we had enough gaps so we could do the double stack. Unfortunately, there was a few people with connection problems, and then something happened to Paco between certain someone I'm not naming. But no, I'm very happy I've won. I'm still surprised because I thought Marcel would have caught me after that VSC. But no, I was what's the word? Thrilled to win today with the championship points. Unfortunately, our constructors, we didn't get the most points. We only got 26 points altogether. So people are going to catch a bit. I think Williams have caught a bit with the point system. So yeah, I'm thrilled to win today.
Very good. And we got Callum Anderson in here as well. Callum, another rough outing for you today. What was your take on today's race?
Pretty bad from my perspective. I'm looking good until I got wing damage on lap 3, I think. I don't know. We were fly high going into the pitch, and I weren't expecting it. And then it just went all downhill from there. I set it to change my front wing when I was going to pit, and it didn't change it. So, yeah, just went all downhill. Is my voice on shit?
Yeah, it is, mate.
Yeah.
A rough day for Callum Anderson. Sandre, what's your take on these two drivers today?
Well, I mean, I was there in the interview last week when Jared said he was gonna annihilate this race, and it didn't look like he was going to do it in the beginning. But well, in the end, I can't say anything. But you did what you said you wanted to do. So props for that.
Thank you very much.
For Callum's sake, it's far from his best race this season. I can't remember which lap you crashed on, but
It were, I don't know, I think it was lap 22 or something, and Chits when, well, whatever, it was on the racing line.
yeah, that was an AI, I think.
Yeah. Was it? Oh, well, it didn't go. So.
But your teammate, he struggled, Billy. He's fine. He got it together today, and he brought you guys some points. So, I mean, it's not the worst race for you guys as a team, but for you personally, it's far from your best race. But Italy, will that be a better track for you? You think?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Well, then we're
Especially yourself.
Hashtag some advice. Well,
Yep.
the same for you, Jared. Italy. Are you gonna expect to annihilate that track too?
I could say yeah, but I could be lying. So I ain't got set up yet for that track. It's a pain, that track. I'm not that quick. I feel like Storm. I really feel sorry for Storm. He had a bad start. I had a great start, but I feel he may win Italy, unless Paco can win it. Well, I hope him to bounce back for what happened today. It hasn't been the best, as I've said. But no, it just depends how the weather is. If the weather's clear, I'm okay. But if it's full wet, you won't be expecting me on the podium or in the top 5. If it's inters, then maybe differ. But we'll just wait and see what happens.
All right. Well,
Interesting take on Monza from the race winner here at Austria. I can't imagine the setups would be too terribly different. Obviously, both low drag tracks. I would feel if you excelled at Austria, you should definitely be able to excel at Monza. So,
it is.
It's just the second chicane, really. It's the first chicane's alright. It's just the second chicane. You've got to get a good exit, and if you get too much of a good exit, you're going to spin it. So, as you guys saw in the Christmas Classic thing, I lost it there. So, it's a bit of a nightmare track. But we'll just wait and see. I've got a week to practice, so yeah.
Definitely. Well, good luck to the both of you for that track. And shall we see? I've seen. I want to have Paco in here for a quick. Oh, if Billy has a mic. Alright, so then we're just waiting on those guys.
we'd definitely like to talk to Billy. I mean, to date, it looks like Billy Mawson's best finish was a 10th place back in round 5 of France. And we've got Paco Suarez. Paco, tough day, tough qualifying session, tough race. What happened?
It was a mix of everything in the qualifying. I was having a great lap. I had a great lap in the rest of the lap because at the start there was a crash between the Red Bulls, or I don't know what happened, but there were two Red Bulls in the middle of the track. Had to brake, couldn't, and lost most of the time of my lap. So I was ninth, and then in the race, just since the beginning, I hit into the barrier, so I had the yellow front wing and was stuck in the middle of the action with everyone trying to overtake and all that. So in general, it was a complicated race.
Now, what happened towards the end? It looks like you lost it going down into turn 3, and you ran off into the gravel. Struggling with the tires that late in the race, or Sanjay seemed to think maybe there was a desync problem that you had going into the corner?
Could be a desync because I swear I noticed a hit on the back of the car. So suddenly my steering wheel went into the left and just completely lost it due to the hit, maybe caused by the desync. So I just went into the gravel, couldn't do anything, and yeah. After that, went into the pits, crashed again with Fly High, although it wasn't his fault, and needed to pit again for a new set of Ultrasoft.
Well, I mean, for the incident there, it certainly did look like desync, and the way you're explaining it, with the car just pulling to the left, it certainly does sound like desync too.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was no contact on the stream, so yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
a desync issue. How do you feel going into Monza? You're going to be able to come back from this race? Is Monza one of your better tracks?
I was good at this one, but it didn't simply work. But yeah, I think that I can do better, and that because I'm always in every track, I'm always there. I know that I have pace, except in two that are Monaco and China, because I hate them. But yeah, I I'm always positive about each track. That's why I always say, oh yeah, I like this track. I like this track. But yeah, I think that Italy is gonna be definitely a great race.
And it looks like we've got Tim joining us as well. Tim, really unfortunate race for you. You crashed into Christian Thornton's Toro Rosso. I'm assuming that caught you off guard when it happened.
Yeah, I saw him too late, and I completely did how I say it. I was braking, looking at the corner, and then he stays to me. I don't know where he was there, and what the fuck. My race was so good at the beginning, and after a few rounds, the guys are completely drunk. They're coming to my inside out of nowhere, cutting the corners, brake testing me. That was a fucking joke, this race.
I do need you to
Unfortunately for you,
restrict your
Christian,
language, Tim, but for the
Christian had
Toro
actually,
Rosso, yeah.
Christian had actually crashed in the pit lane, and the game glitched and actually set his car out onto the front stretch. Unfortunately, right in front of the oncoming you. So it wasn't anything that Christian had did while on track, but another one of those Codemaster glitches. The only other time I've ever seen a glitch like that was at Brazil, where a similar thing had happened. Somebody had crashed in the Armco at the pit lane, and it set him out in turn two. So, unfortunate race for you. You think you'll be able to come back a little bit from this heading into Monza?
What? My headset. What's the spam?
Monza, Tim, do you think that is a good track for you, and what are you hoping for there?
Austria's a good. I love this track, but yes, the race was not so good.
Well, that happens sometimes. We've all been there. I've been there lots of times.
I give never sit the fault of my DNF, but I saw him too late. I can't do anything against that.
But when we come to Monza next week, what do you want
Yeah.
there, and what do you expect there?
I think I'm at Monza really good. I think I have a 10 position, also I do all for it, and yeah.
Well,
We certainly wish you the best of luck heading into Monza.
stole my
Thanks.
words there, but yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. But yeah, good luck for that, and hopefully you'll have a better outing there.
Yeah.
Well, Kamikaze, I know that you would really like to interview Billy.
Well, I mean, the driver of the day for my vote, Billy Mossam, unbelievable race today. Obviously a career race for you. Your best finish this year so far was a 7th back at round 6 in Britain. And unfortunately, due to time penalties, you only got a 4th, but you came across the line 3rd, fighting hard. How do you feel after your race today?
I'm pretty happy. I mean, I wish my teammate would have been right behind me, but things can't be helped. So I'm happy with P4.
Do you feel like this is going to be a turning point for you for going forward in the season? Do you think you'll be able to keep up this type of pace?
Yeah.
And how do you feel heading into Monza? Is Monza going to be one of your better tracks?
Good at that track. I'm good at that track. I've got a good setup, so.
And a lot of drivers saying they're going to be good at Monza. Jared Fosbury is the only one to say that he might struggle if there's
rain.
Yeah.
wet circumstance.
But yeah, Billy, as I've been there the whole season, you struggled a lot, and you really got it together today. We did think you were going to get 3rd place, but penalties prevented that. But what did this? How did you turn it around?
Them tyres were gone. Them wouldn't have lasted like 3-4 more laps. They wouldn't have. They were done.
No, I'll tell you, we saw Louis Bossman puncture with his tires being at lap 23, I think. So
Yeah,
they weren't going to last much longer, but
yeah. So
good to see
I'm
you
happy with
finally
people.
getting it a little bit more together. You've been good in qualifying a couple of times, but
Yeah,
been unlucky too. So great race by you. Good luck for Monza.
thanks.
And I know we have Joe here. I know that Jeremy also asked for an invite. Oh, Kamikaze, I'm in party screen now, so nobody will hear you. So just a moment. Alright, now you should be able again.
The surprise finish today for you, Hollis. I mean, did you expect yourself to be in P3 when you came across the line, or?
At the end, yeah, I expected it because I knew the penalties. So on those final laps, I was just praying that Billy would fight back, and he did. So thanks for that, Billy. Got me P3. And
You feel like you're gonna?
he did. So thanks for that, Billy. Got me P3.
You feel like you're gonna be able to keep this momentum up going into Monza at the next round?
Not really, because I keep losing out of the exit of Ascari, so not a good track for me. I'm not excited.
Interesting. First
One of the few
driver, I think that
drivers to
is.
say, yeah,
Yeah, I
to
think
say
that
it's
is
not
the
going to be a good
first
result.
driver who doesn't like the track.
I mean, I like the track, but I'm probably tell why it, so.
Well, hopefully you'll figure it out during the week, and hopefully you'll be up there next week then.
Yeah.
Good run today for Joe.
Didn't
Definitely.
go
And
so
we've got
well
Fly
for my teammate.
High, the infamous Jeremy Pope of GT3 Legends. Jeremy, not what you're used to as far as running towards the front when it comes to the GT cars, but how are you managing getting used to these F2 cars this season?
It's okay. Just taking it race at a time. Well, the races that I am here, I'm taking race at a time. But yeah,
Well,
Do you think
I
you'll be
can
able to
tell
make the
you.
Monza race?
the Monza race, I don't know. I'm not really good at Monza in any game or some, but we'll see what I can do.
Well, I'll tell you though, Kamikaze. Jeremy has had a habit of not having a great quality, but starting on harder tires and ending up. Yeah, I don't know exactly how much, but like 7, 8 positions higher than his quality, and I do believe you jumped a lot of positions today too, even though you didn't finish fourth or anything. I think you finished eighth, ninth.
Yeah, I
He
finished
did manage
ninth.
a ninth place finish,
Yeah, and you
and he did
started
have
like
a.
16th or 17th around there. So
Yeah,
was that a case of starting on harder tires and making it through the action as you usually do, or?
no. What happened was at the start. The start was okay. We got to turn one without any damage, which was fine. Then we went up the hill, and I'm not sure what happened. I saw into the barrier. He slowed down, and then I don't know if somebody was in front of him and he was trying to avoid a crash, but I broke my wing on the left hand side, I think, and then I just went to the pits on turn one, lap one. I'm sorry. Put on another set of super softs and just pushed, and then I got on the soft tires, and then I think within like the last 3 laps, Frankie, I don't know if he was trying to overtake me or what, but we made contact. I was gonna let him go by. I saw he had new tires. I had went to the inside. I thought he was gonna go past on the outside, but yeah, that's about it. Just a recovery drive for the day.
Alright. Well,
How do you feel about your chances at Suzuka this afternoon in the GT3 League?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'll see. I'll try to hope. Hopefully, I can get between first and third.
All right.
Yeah, we're
Well,
certainly no shortage of points in the GT3 league, but we certainly wish you the best of luck going into the next round here at F2. And
Oh yeah.
I will see you on the track this afternoon. I'll see your taillights at least.
And you never know. You never know.
well, that is true. Well, I do believe that we still have the last guy should be Charlie Sampson. So, Kamikaze.
Well, Samson, you had a tough day. You were one of the first cars to crash out. Came home 19th, unfortunately. What happened?
Um, it was start of lap 2, and I think my teammate ahead got pushed onto the grass coming out of turn 1. He had to back out, and I had nowhere to go.
Unfortunate day for you. Now, how do you think you'll fare at Monza if you can stay out of trouble? Is that one of your better tracks?
I'd say it's kind of average at Monza.
Looking to just get a points finish that day then, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
I do have a question for you then, Charlie. Well, if you're say average at Monza, are you hoping for rain? Because I remember a few rain races where you've really excelled in the wet weather conditions.
Yeah, I'd love it to be raining.
All right.
We certainly would.
Well, I just saw that there was one more driver who wanted an interview, so he will be the last one. And that is Lee Kelly when he joins. And
Lee Kelly. Be interesting to talk to him.
yeah,
And there is Lee Kelly. Lee, you had a good run today. Looks like you struggled in turn 2 a lot, though. Could you have gotten further up in the running order if it wasn't for those couple of spins that you had?
can you hear Lee? Kamikaze?
Yes.
Do you hear Lee or...
Yes.
Oh, well, Lee, you gotta start over. I accidentally had you on mute from another day, I believe.
Oh, anyway.
So sorry about that.
No, it's fun. So, in qualifying, obviously, for the best of the super soft runners, really happy about that. I thought I could fight with Jared, and obviously for the first few laps, we were close. But then after I spun, I knew that it was just going to be a tough race. And being where I was in the midfield didn't help because I got held up. I could have caught Paco, but I got held up by Lewis. I lost about, I don't know, I'd say 2 seconds. And being behind them because that's how slow he was. Yeah, P6 at the end, obviously. I mean, considering the circumstances, given I was in P13, I was happy about that, but annoyed at myself considering how much I struggled in turn 2.
Now, do you feel like, what was the deal with turn 2? Because you had gone around there a couple of times. Were you just hitting the curb or getting on the power too early or just bad setup?
Getting on the power too early. My setup was good at just getting on the power too early, really. I think so. It was my mistake. I'm annoyed at myself. I could have been up there fighting with Jared, but still. P6, I'm happy with that.
How do you think you'll fare at Monza at the next round? Is that one of your better tracks? It would be a similar setup for you with Austria.
Monza, good track. I love the track. I don't really know my paces. I'd say I think I want to be around top 5 in Monza again, fighting for the podium.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck going forward. Sanjay, you got anything for?
Well, I think you pretty much covered most of it. I do know though, however, that you've kinda not been that happy about Nino's finishes in the first races, and you kinda set a gap of how many points he needs to get soon. Is that correct?
Yes it is.
How many points are we talking then?
Really, I mean, I took it easier. I could have said like 50. I said 30 points before halfway through.
30 points, alright. Well,
You know,
that's interesting.
considering, yeah, you know, and the main reason I said that because if he didn't get if he doesn't reach that by the time halfway through the season comes, I'm probably gonna end up focusing on myself, really, to be honest.
Alright. Well, that was good to get confirmed. I don't have any more questions then, as you covered the rest, Kamikaze. That should have been our last driver interview of the day. Been longer than you're used to, I guess, Kamikaze.
Well, it's always. I mean, I'm a little salty I didn't get to race today. I was really looking forward to Austria. It's actually one of my better tracks, but got online too late, unfortunately for that. So, but glad to partake in another commentary for IRL and an F2 race. I did it, back in Spain. I did F2 commentary. That was pretty fun. So. We'll see what happens next week. If I can race, I would love to, but if I got to be in the box, I'll be in the box. But
Well, I'll tell you one
definitely
thing
be
for sure.
definitely be interesting.
One thing for sure, Kamikaze, I really enjoyed having you here today. And if you don't get to race next week, I'll happily take you in again. Although I do want to see you race too.
Well, we can certainly watch me race at Suzuka this afternoon in the GTS Group 3 League, so hopefully I'll have a good outing there. Suzuka's one of my better tracks. I actually like that track, so
gonna
I
try
had a
to
pretty
watch
good outing
that.
last time.
Even though I have my own race too in PSGL, but for anyone who's interested to get a point of view from Kamikaze to watch tonight's GT3 race around Suzuka, you should go to his channel, which would
Check me
be...
out on YouTube, like, subscribe, and comment. Open lobby starts at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. I don't know what that is on the other side of the world, but Suzuka, Jeremy Pope will be there, Christopher Ryan will be there, so some of the F2 drivers will be partaking in that as well.
So,
that is,
if you
had a
want to
pretty good
see
run
that,
last time up.
search KAMIKAZE-FOX on YouTube. You'll find his channel. I also linked it in the live chat. Probably gonna see some great racing there then. Most likely, at least. For now...
Hopefully. And, for now, make sure you turn into IRL tomorrow, 11:15, to catch the F1 League race in Austria. And then you can catch all of the IRL action online at internationalracingleague-irl.com. Make sure to check them out on Twitter. What is the Twitter handle?
That is F1_IRL.
And be sure to check us out next week as well, as we'll be doing F1, F2, and I believe GT3 all over again. That'll be Monza on Saturday for F2, as well as Fuji
for
for the
GT3, yeah.
And then on Sunday we'll have the F1 race again. But yeah, definitely be sure to tune in tomorrow for IRL. Been a very exciting season. coming off of a great race last time out. What was last week's race? That was Hungary is what it was.
Oh, yes.
Ville Himalayan picked up his first career win. Brandon Glover picked up his first pole of the season. And Jack Hoyle continues to try and put the squeeze on the rest of the field. We'll see what Austria has in store for us tomorrow.
Definitely. Well, I don't have anything more to add at this moment. I'm not sure if you have, Lance.
Well, that's it. We'll see you
That's
guys
it.
at the next round.
Well, then we'll round up the stream. This has been IRL F2 round 8 around Austria. I was first joined by Luis Marshall in the comms box until he then had to leave, and I got my co-commentator as KAMIKAZE-FOX, aka Lance LeBrun today, and that would be it. Please make sure to subscribe and like if you want to watch more. I'll see you later.